When I was a kid, I lived in one of those quiet, suburban neighborhoods where nothing ever seemed to happen. The kind of place where everyone knew each other, and the biggest excitement was when Mrs. Henderson's cat got stuck in a tree for the third time that week. But there was one thing that always stood out to me, something that never quite made sense: the girl who lived at the end of the street. Her name was Emily. At least, that's what she told me. I first saw her when I was about 7 years old. She was sitting on the swings at the park, all by herself, her long, dark hair swaying gently in the breeze. Even then, there was something off about her. She didn't smile much, and her eyes had this strange, distant look, like she was always staring at something far away. But I was a lonely kid, and she seemed nice enough, so I walked over and asked if I could join her. She didn't say much at first, just nodded and kept swinging. But over time, we started talking. She told me she lived in the big old house at the end of the street, the one with the overgrown yard and the broken shutters. I'd never seen anyone go in or out of that house, but Emily said her parents were private people and didn't like visitors. What struck me as odd, even back then, was how she would disappear for days at a time. One day we'd be playing together at the park, and the next she'd be gone. When I asked her where she went, she'd just shrug and say, "I had to go home." But it wasn't just a day or two. Sometimes she'd vanish for a week or more. And every time she came back, she seemed different, paler, quieter, like something had drained the life out of her. Still, we became friends. Over the years, we spent countless afternoons together, exploring the woods behind the neighborhood, building forts out of old cardboard boxes, and trading stories about our lives. But there was one thing that always bothered me. No one else ever seemed to see her. I remember one time when we were about 10, I asked my mum if I could invite Emily over for dinner. My mum gave me this weird look and said, "Who's Emily?" I told her about my friend, the girl who lived in the old house at the end of the street. My mum's face went pale, and she said, "Honey, no one's lived in that house for years. It's been empty since before you were born." I didn't believe her. How could Emily not be real? I'd spent so much time with her, talked to her, laughed with her. She was as real to me as anyone else. But when I went to the old house to prove it, the place was exactly as my mum had described it. Empty, dilapidated, and covered in cobwebs. There was no sign of Emily or her private parents. When I saw Emily again a few days later, I confronted her about it. She just smiled, a small, sad smile, and said, "I told you, my parents don't like visitors. I didn't push it. I didn't want to lose my only friend." As we got older, Emily's disappearances became more frequent. Sometimes she'd be gone for weeks, even months, and when she came back, she seemed less like herself. Her skin grew paler, her eyes darker, and her voice softer, like she was fading away bit by bit. But she never explained where she went or what happened to her during those times. The last time I saw Emily, we were 16. It was a cold, grey afternoon, and we were sitting on the swings at the park, just like we had when we first met. She was quieter than usual, barely saying a word. Finally, I asked her what was wrong. She turned to me, her eyes filled with something I couldn't quite place. Sadness, maybe, or fear. "I have to go away again," she said. "But this time, I don't think I'll be coming back." I didn't understand. "What do you mean? Where are you going?" She didn't answer. Instead, she reached into her pocket and pulled out a small silver locket. She pressed it into my hand and said, "Keep this, and whatever you do, don't come looking for me." Before I could say anything, she stood up and walked away. I watched her go, her figure growing smaller and smaller until she disappeared into the trees at the edge of the park. That was the last time I ever saw her. For years, I held onto that locket, hoping she'd come back, but she never did. Eventually, I moved away from that neighborhood, leaving behind the memories of my strange, disappearing friend. It wasn't until I was in my late 20s that I finally learned the truth about Emily. I was visiting my parents for the holidays, and somehow the conversation turned to the old house at the end of the street. My mum mentioned that it had finally been torn down, and I felt a pang of sadness. Curious, I decided to do some digging. I went to the local library and looked through old newspapers, hoping to find anything about the house or the people who had lived there. What I found sent chills down my spine. According to an article from the 1950s, the house had once been home to a family named the Wilsons. They had a daughter named Emily, who had gone missing when she was just 7 years old. The police searched for weeks, but they never found her. The family moved away soon after, and the house had been empty ever since. But that wasn't the worst part. The article included a photo of Emily Wilson, and even though the picture was grainy and faded, there was no mistaking it. She was the same girl I had known all those years ago. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know if she was a ghost or something else entirely. All I know is that Emily was real, at least to me, and whatever she was, she's gone now. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about her. I wonder where she went during those long disappearances. I wonder why she chose me to be her friend. And I wonder if she's still out there, somewhere, waiting for someone to find her. But I'll never go looking for her. I made her a promise after all. And some promises are better left unbroken.